Let's see. Wait. Yes. Hey everybody. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Hey V, how you doing, girl? OMG, it feels like forever since we've talked. How you doing? Hey everybody, I'm just getting everything shared. Hey Mika. Yeah, y'all see my cup? Y'all see my cup? Akimi T Moon made this cup for me on my birthday. What was it, last year? Thank you. You know, yellow is my favorite color. Yes, yellow is my favorite color, so it feels right on my nails. But yeah, Akimi made this cup. When I tell y'all, this is my favorite cup to drink tea out of. So every time, you know, I got a nice glass of tea or I think get some tea, I gotta put it in my cup. So yeah, I hit up Akimi. I'm good. So proud of you and your accomplishments. Yay, thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, girl, it's been a whirlwind. Like, it's been a whirlwind. I remember it's been like when we first met, almost over a year since we first met, you know, when we all connected. Hey Dakayla, hey y'all. Oh, all my girls coming in. Hey y'all, I feel like it's been forever since we talked like this. How y'all doing tonight? For some reason, I thought it was pink. You thought what was pink? My cup? And I'm proud of you too, girl, because you've been through a lot. Like, let me tell y'all, all of us, me, V, Dakayla, all of us met around the same time, you know. And think about how much life has changed since then. I'm okay, happy to see you doing well. Yes, love, I am recovering. I am doing well. Yes. I'm going with the flow. I'm living in the moment. Your favorite color? My favorite color did used to be pink, girl. I changed a lot. Like in high school, my favorite color definitely was pink, but now my favorite color is yellow. I still love pink though, you know, all of the girly colors. Okay, so I'm glad you guys are in tonight. I'm excited to share this information with you guys because I would love to give you a little bit of context as to all of these changes that we've been going through energetically. I want to give you guys a little bit of the astrology that we have coming up. You guys know we got a full moon in Aquarius coming up on Friday. And we've gone through a couple of eclipses this year. We had an eclipse in Sagittarius, we had an eclipse in Gemini. You know, we've been changing and evolving and opening our minds up and doing things differently. You know, nothing is the same, and even though that can be really scary, at the same time it's really exciting as well, because if you're conscious and if you're aware and if you're creating intentionally, then you really have the possibility to tap into your God energy and create your life. Like, how do you want your life to be? What is it that you want to live? How do you want to wake up and feel every day? You know, these are the things that you have the possibility to tap into and to create right now. But I know that can be a lot to take in, especially if you don't really have a context as to where we are in time, or how we got to where we are in time. So that's why I'm going to tap a little bit into like the sun cycle. We're going to start real simple. We're going to start real basic with the sun cycle, and then we're going to connect that to kind of the cycle that we're in and how all of these things play in together. You know, in the age of Pisces, which is the age that we're shifting out of, it was all about being polarized. It was either one way or the other. It's black or white, yes or no, up or down, right or wrong, you know, good or bad, dark or light. It's all of these dualities. It's about polarizing. And you know, when they're when things are polarized and they're on two opposite ends of the spectrum, and there's really like no connection unless you go into the middle. So what I've been studying is that middle point, which is really the concept of oneness. Everything is connected. Everything is connected. Psychology, numerology, astrology, sacred geometry, all of the sciences, all of the metaphysics, all of these things are not independent thoughts. They work together to give you a full, whole view of the world, of our spectrums of consciousness. And the thing is, in the age of Pisces, that was the age of darkness. And when you know, a lot of times we talk about the age of darkness, and we talk about, you know, ascension and elevation, and you know, stepping into 5D, and you know, we talk about all of these things, but nobody really talks about what they mean, like on a physical level, to where you can understand it. So that's kind of where we're gonna talk about that today, and we're gonna break that down so you can understand on a physical level how stepping into higher consciousness is really sparking all of the changes that are happening right now. Let me drink a little bit of my tea. Hey Stacy. Hey Shaquan. Thank you. I appreciate it, love. I really do. Okay, yes. So like I said, so we're gonna start with the sun cycle. Now, if you do any studying of the ancient Kemetic time period, which was in the age of Leo, then you may have heard of the sun cycle. And the sun has 5 different cycles. Kepler, which is the first cycle, which is basically like the awakening age. You can compare it to childhood and the human life cycle, where you know, where you're learning and you're exploring and you're finding out all of these new things, and you know, it's just a way, an age of enlightenment, you know, a state of enlightenment. And then we move from Kepler into the stage Ra. Now Ra is your ego stage, and this can be compared to being a teenager, you know, because now you know a little, you've grown a little bit, you know, you have lots of strength, lots of mental agility, you know, so now you're stubborn and you don't want to listen, and you go out and you make all of these decisions, and you do all of these things as if you're invincible, because you don't have the experience to understand the error of some of your ways. You know, this is what you do in the raw stage. This is the teenage stage, you know. Hey, Shanice. Okay, so then we move from the raw stage into the Un stage. Now, the Un stage is known as the Y stage. And mind you, these are all cycles of the sun. So this is the third stage of the sun, which is the Un stage. And in the human consciousness, or in the human experience, this would be like your adulthood. And this is the stage where you've learned a little bit more. You've gotten some of the karma from the Ra stage, so you've actually had to deal with some of the consequences of your actions. And unfortunately, for a lot of us, those consequences hit hard. They hit hard, let me tell you. Hey, Ashley. Yes, so those consequences hit hard, and that's especially like if you a master number, or especially, you know, if you're really asking to be initiated into this spiritual life, or, you know, especially, you know, if you just trying to do the right thing. Oh, and if you're doing the wrong thing, let me tell you, it hit different. So you experience the karma from that Ra stage. And, you know, if you're lucky enough to survive the karma of that Ra stage, because, you know, a lot of us, you know, I know a lot of people who didn't survive that Ra stage. You know, I grew up in Memphis, so the brightest stars, you know, they shine the brightest and they burn out the fastest, you know. So if you're lucky enough and you're fortunate enough to survive the first consequences of that Ra stage, and you make it to the Un stage, then this is the stage of the wise. So you've learned a little bit, you're getting some experience under your belt. Now you're starting to hone in on what you do well, what you don't do well, you know, what skills you need to build on, what areas you may need to find connections with other people to help you with that, you know. Because one thing about in the Un stage, I realized that I cannot do everything myself. Like the Ra stage, I'm like, yeah, I got this, yeah, no problem, yeah, work these 50 hours, take care of these kids, take care of this house, take care of all of this stuff, and da 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 da. I was in the Ra stage, I was like, no problem. And then by the Un stage, I had almost lost my mind, and I was like, okay, so maybe I can't do everything myself. Maybe I can't, you know. So then in that stage, that's when, like I said, you start to work on really self-reflecting, figuring out what you do well, what you don't do well, you know, where you may need to connect with other people who can help you in those areas, or, you know, just supplement it. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to do everything yourself. But as long as you have somebody in your circle, you know, who can take care of the things that you need to take care of, then that's what's important. And at this stage, it's going to be all about building community, working with people, building those connections, networking. Like, all of those things are going to be really important, especially in this stage that we're going into. Yes, that realization hit hard. When I say hit hard, like no mercy, like wake up for real. When I say, when you get those wake up calls, sometimes those wake up calls, they be so rough. Like my wake up calls be so traumatizing, and I'm like, am I really, I pray for ease so much. I pray for ease. I pray, you know, for ease. And I try to take the path of least resistance. But, you know, even when you're conscious enough to do that, you still hit these blockages. You still hit these hangups where you're resisting and you're holding on to these things, and you're not even conscious that you're holding on to these things. And like all of that, like not being conscious of what you're doing, not being aware of how one thing affects the other, not being aware how of the whole picture is all the themes of the age of darkness. Darkness is basically not being aware of how the cause causes the effect, and the effect is related to the cause. I've learned not to be so hard-headed, because then consequences and realizations be blowing me. When I say, ooh, I be so mad, you know. And oof, when I say I can tell y'all some stories, I can tell y'all some stories. I'm really gonna start like documenting my spiritual journey more on my Patreon, but I just had to get through the thick of it. And you know, I feel like that's what this week is all about. That's why I really was excited to come on here and talk to you guys tonight, because we have this full moon in Aquarius coming up on Friday. And this full moon in Aquarius is like really a brand new stage in our lives. This is the dawn of the age of Aquarius, seriously. And it's starting off with a full moon in Aquarius. I think at 1 degree. It's either at 0. Is the full moon at 0? I will talk about the degrees and the astrology and everything later. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, you know. We're gonna talk about all that later. But yes, it's so exciting. So like I said, I just kind of want to give a playback as to how we got to where we are and where we are now, and how everything works in a circle, in the oneness. Okay, so where did we stop? We stopped at the Un stage. Okay, so then we moved from the Un stage to the stage of Aten. Aten, so that's Aten, or you know, there's so many different variations from so many different languages. So the pronunciation, it varies, but Aten is basically the next stage. If you find this information valuable, or you feel like you know somebody on your your friends list who would find this information valuable, make sure y'all like the video, make sure y'all share the video so we can get this information out. So now back to the Aten stage. So the Aten stage is known as the wiser stage. Now in the wiser stage, you've started to learn the process of alchemy, or really you've mastered the process of alchemy now, because you're aware of, you know, what you've already become aware of what you do well and what you don't do well. You've had the time to really work through the karma of some of your mistakes of the past, which has made you stronger and giving you resilience and giving you experience, and you've had time to regroup, and now you're in a stage where you are able to take all of those lessons and experiences and the resources and the tools that you have available to you and put them all together to create something that actually serves you, you know. So this is a stage of like the most enlightened, being the most enlightened, really knowing how to work with what you have to create whatever it is that you want. This is the Aten stage. And this is the 4th stage, and this would be known as like in our human span of life currently, I would say this would be like around your 60s, you know, because you know, what was it? The Book of God? I can't remember which book it was, but it says you're not fully an adult as a human until you're 60. So 0 to 60, really, you're just learning. About 60, you kind of got it by then, you know. So I would say the Aten stage would be between, you know, 35 to 60, depending on the individual. And then after the Aten stage is the Amen stage. So Amen. So Amen or Amen, that is the final stage, and that is the stage of darkness. That is the stage where there is no light. There is a void of light. And in the darkness, you know, that's where death is. That's where deceit is. That's where the shadows are, you know. That's where all of the hidden shadowy stuff that nobody wants to talk about, or the things that we aren't aware of, that's where all of those things lie, you know, in the dark stage, you know. And mind you, this these 5 stages, these are the stages of the sun. So let's go back one more time. We have the Kepler stage. That's the stage where the sun is just dawning. This would be the dawn, the sunrise, you know. This is childhood, where we're exploring, where we're shining light on new things, where we're learning, where we're growing. Then we get into the Ra stage, and that's where, you know, the sun is full blaze in the sky. And that's where, you know, in our human experience, you know, we hard-headed, and you know, we have the most that's our ego stage, you know. The sun represents the ego. And so then we get to the Un stage, which is the adult stage, the wise stage. Like I said, you've gotten karma, you're starting to understand a little bit more, because you are now able to self-reflect on the Ra stage, and maybe even the childhood if you've gotten that far into the and then the Aten, the wiser, which is like adulthood, where you really have an understanding of how all of these elements work together, and you figured out how to make them work together to work for you. And then finally, this would be the last one, would be the Amen, which would be the sunset. And then like I said, this is the darkness, so this is where everything is dark. So basically, from the age of Kepher to the age of Aten was the devolving of human consciousness. So basically, we just kept going deeper and deeper and deeper, diving deeper into a devolved state of thinking, so much so to a point where we got to where we were all just in survival mode. And that's kind of where a lot of us are right now, you know, just in survival mode, especially, you know, after the pandemic. It hit everybody in so many different ways. It's changed all of our lives in so many different ways, and it really gave a lot of people the opportunity to just take time to self-reflect on, you know, where their lives are, where we're going, you know, why are we even here, because most people, they didn't even have time to do that before the pandemic, you know, because they were just on the hamster wheel. First I got to get up, then I got to get the kids together, then I got to get the kids to school, then I got to get to work, then I got to do this, then I got to do this. You know, you're on your cycle, you're on your routine, you're being responsible so much so that you don't even take that time to self-reflect. And that's what the pandemic gave us. It gave us time to self-reflect. And basically, during this time of self-reflection, we've realized that there are lots of things that we had been ignoring, lots of things that we weren't aware of, all of those hidden things, the things, you know, that you push back, you think about, and it gives you anxiety, but you say, no, I don't have time to deal with this, so you push it back. And, you know, some people deal with it different types of ways. Some people push it back, you know, by overworking themselves, you know, just always keeping themselves busy, always moving, always going, so they don't have to think about it. And other people deal with it, you know, with substances, with alcohol, with drugs, with all types of things. And then, you know, some people, they just suppress it, and then that turns into high blood pressure and rage and violence, you know. And then it's so many different ways. But at the end of the day, during this stage of darkness, we were all dealing with that heavy energy, you know. And we really weren't aware of, you know, where these cycles started, how these cycles were connected to, you know, our entire existence, our entire being, and, you know, how to really shift out of this and get into a new stage where there's actually happiness, enlightenment, and awareness. Hold on, I know that was a mouthful. Let me go ahead and drink some tea. Okay, let me make sure y'all not saying nothing. So yes, so basically in the age of darkness, we just had our blinders on. Like, and when I say we had our blinders on, it means that basically we were not aware how all of our past experiences, you know, for whether it be from one life to the next time, had a continuous effect on us, you know, because a lot of people, a lot of times, we're depending on what religious or what your spiritual belief is, we think death is the end. You know, people don't think about what happens after death. So they think, you know, what you do in this lifetime has no effect on your soul, but it does, you know. Once you get to the point and you realize it does, then you kind of realize the cause and effect of, you know, people's lives and the energy that people put into their lives. And I put it into this perspective for you. So let's just say hypothetically, we have a soldier, you know, a soldier who died a violent death in the war, you know. So then he died this violent death. So then because he died this violent death, he reincarnates as this bitter child, you know, this bitter child who's angry and who's prone to violence, and, you know, who just has this really rough exterior and interior. And, you know, if you don't have that enlightenment and you don't have that awareness, then everybody just thinks, oh, he's just a badass kid, you know. But then, you know, so let's just say we don't have this this awareness, you know. So then he grows up, you know, to deal with this anger and this bitterness which he's carrying from a past life of being a soldier and you know, dying a violent death. He copes with these things, or tries to deal with these things with alcohol, you know, trying to suppress it, trying not to deal with it, not really knowing the source, but trying to, you know, use substances to suppress this, but really all it's doing is exacerbating it. So then let's just say now he's an alcoholic, and then he gets to the point where he hurts somebody, and now, you know, he's in jail and he's a prisoner because he's killed somebody, you know. And then, you know, he dies in prison and he dies alone, you know, and he has this horrible exterior, you know, this horrible ending, and then he reincarnates again. And then in this lifetime he reincarnates, you know, where his parents abandoned him, because since he died feeling alone in his last lifetime, then that energy transfer over to where he is alone in this lifetime. That's how energy works. It's not about, you know, it's all about how you feel. It's literally all about how you feel. And in this world, we're taught to put our feelings last. We're taught to put everybody's feelings before ours. We're taught that that's the noble thing to do. We're taught that that's the virtuous thing to do. But at the end of the day, one thing that I've learned is that that is super duper self-destructive. You have to learn self-care. You have to incorporate self-care into your everyday regimen. Your self-care is your rituals. Your self-care is your routine, you know, to keep you in balance. Because if you're not in balance, then there's no way that you can give of yourself whole. You know, you can't be whole and give to others if you're not taking care of yourself. And that's one of the things that really helped me shift, is to really realize that I had to take care of myself, you know. But then it gets to the stage, you know, where you realize you have to take care of yourself, and you have to start evaluating, okay, well, why am I not taking care of myself? You know, how did I learn, you know, these habits and these routines of taking care of myself? You know, where did I get these things from? And then that's when you go back into your childhood. Let me tell you, shadow work is real. It's a whole process that I've been on this journey for about 5 or 6 years now. And I have workbooks. We're doing workshops. Kenya's Crystals has so many things coming up. I'm a practitioner of Reiki as well. So we're going to do these healing seminars to really help a lot of people shift out of this thick energy. Because when I say this energy is thick, this energy is thick. And you know, it kind of feels like, and then we're in the thick of Cancer season too. We're in the thick of Cancer season, and a lot of people are drowning in a sea of their emotions in the middle of Cancer season. That's what Cancer season has been all about, you know. It's about really not having, so let's get back to the past life experiences, you know. So the child, you know, you reincarnate and then you're an orphan, you know. And the thing is, as you can see, it was just a descension of consciousness. And it's like your reincarnations just kept getting worse and worse and worse, because that soldier was not aware, you know, or that orphan was not aware that he has a past life as a prisoner and a past life as a soldier, and how all of those things contributed to the deterioration of his soul. And if he didn't consciously heal and consciously do something different, you know, and consciously try to be better, that he would continue to, you know, reincarnate and incarnate in these difficult, you know, situations. It's all about taking control of your situation, learning the entirety of your soul, the awareness of your higher self besides your physical body, and taking that information to evolve into the best version of yourself, so you can create your experience and actually enjoy, you know, the experience that you've created. Okay. So yes, so now we are at the point where we are at the dawning of the age of Aquarius. This is a time, so in the cycle this would be the Kepler time. This would be the first the first stage, you know. And even the ancient Chemetics, they use the symbol of the dung beetle, you know, rolling the dung up and, you know, holding it above their head, and it's it looks like a circle, which represents the sun as well. You know, they used ideograms. So basically you had to look at the picture and understand the concept of the picture to really understand what the message it was that they were trying to receive. They didn't use you know, written words and written languages the way that we did the way that we do now. They use those pictures to explain, you know, ideas and cycles and things like that. So that's what we're coming back into. But like I said, I don't want to jump too much ahead of myself. We are going to be doing Age of Leo workshop, because that's what a lot of people are so fascinated by the Age of Leo. And basically the reason why they're so fascinated is because that was the last time that we as a human race were actually enlightened. You know, the Age of Leo is when they made the Sphinx. It's when they had access, you know, to all of that higher consciousness and higher technology. And then after the Age of Leo, you know, is when we started to descend, you know, as far as human evolution and human consciousness. But like I said, we're now at we're at the dawning of the age of Aquarius, where we're coming into an enlightenment, you know, and when we're coming into learning new information and learning how all of this stuff actually works together. So yes. So that's how all of that plays into where we are right now. We're at the dawning of the age of Aquarius, where we're finally starting to get access, you know, to that knowledge of, you know, how everything works together, you know, how we as souls have these experiences that, you know, we don't necessarily know where they come from, but they're embedded in us. We have access to different sciences and different understandings and different logics, you know, to give us a better understanding of our experience. Because a lot of times, most of us, we didn't have an understanding of our experience that actually made sense to us, you know, especially if you grew up, you know, religious. We had, you know, what the Bible said, and if what the Bible said didn't, you know, really give you the explanation that you need, it was kind of just pray about it and figure it out. But now that we're in the stage of Aquarius, we have access to all of these different methods of figuring out what works for us. And that's the thing about it. We're all so different that we don't have to do it the same way, you know? And even though we don't do it the same way, it all works together. That's the beautiful thing about it. Nobody has to be wrong. You know, it doesn't have to be right one way, this way, one way, that way. It doesn't have to be like that. Actually, everything works all together. So that's what I'm excited about, you know, coming into the age of Aquarius. But now we're in Cancer season. And like I said, we are in the thick of Cancer season, and it could feel like, you know, we're in the ocean. We're kind of just floating. Well, some people are floating, you know, some people are just surrendering, and some people are floating in the waters of this Cancer season, and other people are paddling and swimming for their lives, and other people might feel like they're drowning, you know. They might feel like they drowning in the waves of these emotions, you know, that all of us have been feeling. And the thing about it is, a lot of these emotions come from the past. Most of these emotions are coming from the past. It's the waves of the emotions from the past that we're feeling right now. So basically, so far in 2021, we've had 2 instances of the square between Saturn and Uranus. So basically, that square between Saturn and Uranus was allowing us, what Saturn is structure, you know, Saturn is is the way that you do things, the way that you see things in your life, and Uranus is innovation. So basically, we've been innovating the structures in our lives. We've been innovating the way that we do things. We've been innovating the way that we see things. You know, we've been forced to change and do things differently and innovate these structures in our lives, you know. And hopefully you've been innovating and you've been creating, and now you see, you know, a dawn of a new future. You know, you see what your life could be. You see these things that you're aspiring for, and there is hope that things are going to get better, which they definitely are. But you can now kind of start to see it. But it's like you're swimming towards, you know, your new future, but we're getting hit with those waves, those current of waves of those emotions from the past. So that's what we're dealing with in this Cancer season. And like I said, we have been in the thick of this energy, you know. And what I'm excited to say is that it's coming to an end. I never thought I'd be excited to say this because I'm a Cancer. You know, I love Cancer season. I love the waters, but I'm not gonna lie, this one was a lot. So finally, we're coming to the end of all of this watery, you know, old emotional energy, and it's all ending with a full moon in Aquarius on the first day of Leo season, which I'm super duper excited about. We're about to get into this full moon in Aquarius, and basically how this is going to be a new start for all of us, and how it's really important to take advantage of these opportunities and really just start to see things from a different perspective, you know. Look at things a little bit differently. Innovate your life. Create the things that you want to create, you know. All of us have lost so much. Hi, Brianna. Love this live. Thank you, V. Hi, Jeremy. Or is it Germany? Yeah, Germany. Hey. So, yes, all of us, like I said, we've lost a lot. All of us have lost. It's been tower moments, you know. All of us have had some tower moments, but you know, now it's time, because you know, with the like I said, it's the age of Aquarius. Aquarius resonates with the tarot card, the star, you know, and the star is basically the card that comes after the major arcana card that comes after the tarot card, you know. And you know, if you know anything about the tarot, do I have any of my cards right here? I don't have none of my cards. I'm gonna have to grab some of my cards. So if you know anything about the tarot, matter of fact, let me just grab them so I can show y'all what I'm talking about. See, that's my thing. I be rushing and I be doing stuff and I'll be having my stuff together, but y'all, I'm getting it together. I'm getting it together. Give me just a second. Okay, so let me grab these. Let me grab these. Let me grab these. Let me grab these. Okay. Ooh, shit. Ooh, shit. Uh-oh. Hold up. I got too many cards. See? Y'all, I real deal just knocked everything over. Hold on. I got my cards, though. Okay, there we go. I think. Okay, good. So like I was saying, before I knocked everything over, we are in the age of Aquarius, and Aquarius resonates with the star card. And let me see if I can find the star card to show you guys. But basically, the star card is the card that comes after the tower. And basically, in the image of the tower, it's a tower. You know, it's getting struck by lightning. Everybody's falling to the ground. You know, it shows a big, tall tower that was built on a rocky foundation. You know, it shows cracks in the ground. And basically, the lesson of the tower is that things are going to fall. Here's the tower card. This is what 2020 was. This is what 2020 was. It was towers. It was towers. You know, all of our systems fell. Everything changed. We were forced to see things differently. We were forced to do things differently. You know, Saturn square Uranus. Last year we had all of what was it? Jupiter. We had all of those planets. We had that Capricorn stellium squaring Mars. You know, we've had a lot of adversity, but now we are at this stage. We are at the age of Aquarius, which is represented by the Star card. And as you can see, she is naked in this card. And the reason why she is naked is because she was at the top of that tower. Let me tell you, she was at the top of that tower. When that tower crashed, she was at the top of it. And she survived. She had to live through the destruction. She had to live through the devastation. She had to live through the loss, and she had to live through the death. And it stripped her down to everything. Even her clothes, it stripped her down to everything. And that's why she's naked in the car. And as you can see, but she survived though. She made it. So now she's taking this time to rest. She's taking this time to rejuvenate. And this card represents hope. This card represents doing something different, you know. This card represents surviving. And it also represents being strategic, because not only is she resting because she survived, you know, and she needs to take care of herself. She's resting and she's thinking, because she already knows she's going to have to rebuild that tower again. And this time she's going to have to rebuild it even higher and even stronger, which means it has to be even taller, and she has to be strategic, you know, about that. So that's the energy that we're in right now. I'm super excited. Like I said, this full moon in Aquarius that's coming up. So, and like I said, we've been in the thick of this Cancer energy. And let me tell y'all, my birthday was the thick of the energy. When I say it was the thickest on my birthday, it was the thickest. And I knew it. I knew it because I was looking at the chart and I saw some stuff going on with Pluto. And then next year on my birthday is the United States Pluto return. So I'm trying to see what's going to happen then, you know, because Pluto is the reaper of the zodiac. Pluto's ruled by Scorpio, and Scorpio says change or die. So just have all your stuff together by my birthday next year, July 12th next year, because July 12th of next year is the United States Pluto return, which means all of those structures that we've been talking about that aren't fair, that don't work, that aren't innovating, that don't serve the collective, because you know Aquarius is ruled by the 11th house. The 11th house is the house of the collective. You know, Aquarius is the two wavy lines, you know, so one line is the me, and the other line is the you. It's the collective, you know. So all of the things that don't serve the collective, they're going to be falling around that time, but we're not going to skip ahead to them. We're just going to talk about right now. We just going to talk about right now. So, like I said, we're kicking off this, this new chapter with a full moon in Aquarius, and with the moon being, and this is a revolutionary full moon. So with the full moon being in Aquarius, then that means the sun is in Leo. And you know, Leo represents the sun, you know, and the full moon is at 1 degree. So it's at 1 degree Leo. Leo is at its master number 1 degree. And because, you know, Leo in the degree system in astrology rules the number 1. Leo is the sun, you know. So we're at the master number 1 degree of Leo, which means we're starting a completely new chapter. And then we have this full moon in Aquarius, which means that we are able to detach. You know, Aquarians have that energy where they're able to detach the I from the you, the it from the me. You know, Aquarius is the sign of separation. You know, it separates all of the different things and puts the things into categories. Aquarius organizes humanity. That's the job of the Aquarian, you know. And also Aquarius is the revolutionary. Aquarius is the rebel, you know. Aquarius is the one who wants to be known for its individuality, you know. It wants to be the individual, but also Aquarians care deeply about the collective as well. So this is the energy that we're moving into. Like I said, it's a revolutionary full moon. And also another reason why it's so phenomenal is the fact that Jupiter is squaring Black Moon Lilith at 0 degrees. Now let me tell you, I've been studying the degree systems in astrology a whole lot more lately. Like I started studying astrology maybe I said about 6 years ago, and now, you know, I've gotten to the point where I'm really getting into the degrees so I can get a holistic view of everything that's going on. And basically 0 degrees is basically completely new, completely fresh energy. Like this full moon, by Friday, life is gonna feel a little weird. It's gonna feel a little different. It's gonna feel a little, things are not going to be the same. We're not going to be in Kansas anymore. You know, Dorothy's not going to be in Kansas anymore. You know, we're going to be in the Wizard of Oz. So create your Oz, create your environment, create your life. You know, tomorrow is a day where you need to execute all of those things that you've been thinking about, all of those things that you've been putting forward, been putting off, but, you know, haven't necessarily put action towards. All of those things that you know you need to do in order to create the life that you want to create. Go ahead and take care of those things tomorrow, or at least start putting a foot forward, start planting those seeds tomorrow, because that's what the energy is bringing. Like I said, Jupiter is square Black Moon Lilith at 0 degrees. Black Moon Lilith represents your fears, everything that you're afraid of. And Black Moon Lilith has been in Taurus for the longest time. And, you know, Taurus is the sign of, oh, my phone's about to die, so I can't be on here much longer. Okay, so Taurus, I'm gonna make this quick. Taurus is the sign of, you know, physical manifestation. So all of our fears have been seeming really, really real, you know, but now Black Moon Lilith has moved from Taurus, you know, which is the sign of physical manifestation, into Gemini, which is the sign of the mind. Gemini deals with the mind. So now all of these fears aren't physical anymore. Now they're just in your head. And that can be very tricky in itself, you know, but just understand that with Jupiter being at 0 degrees, that is a portal into a new life, into a new reality, into doing something new. And the fact that Jupiter is squaring Black Moon Lilith, that means don't let your fears get in the way. Don't let your fears stop you. You know, all of this stuff is just in your head, and it's super duper convincing, but at the end of the day, you know, you have the opportunity to do something different. So go ahead and take this week and do something different. I'm starting off my week with protection. I'm starting off my week with prayers. I'm starting off my week with setting an intention, you know, to execute my goals and, you know, take care of the things that I need to take care of, you know, in order to make sure that my family and my legacy is together. And I would urge you, I would highly suggest, or at least like for you to consider, you know, for you to do the same yourself. You know, so I'm super excited about that. The next thing I want to talk about is the fact that the moon is conjoining Pluto and Saturn at this time. The moon is conjoining Pluto and Saturn at the same time. So like I said, Pluto is the reaper. So basically this full moon is going to be taking something out of your life. Something is going to be, a final line is going to be drawn with the moon conjoining Pluto. And then a new structure is going to be set up with the moon conjoining Saturn as well. So like I said, we're going to have all of this new energy, and then we're going to have have the sun in Leo, which means we're going to be connected with our heart. Make sure that this new life that you're connecting, this new life that you're creating and curating, it comes from your heart space. It's connected from your heart space, or it's connected to your heart space. You know, we're coming out of an age of making decisions and creating worlds that don't consider how we feel. We've felt the thick of the ramifications of creating those environments and those anxiety, you know, those environments that don't take into account how we feel. And the thing about it is, let me show you guys something really quick in regards to astrology. You see, this is your 10th house. This is the highest point of anybody's natal chart. This would be where your midheaven is, on the cusp of your 10th house. You know, this is where the goat is. So the goat is at the top of the mountain, you know, looking down on everything else. This is your legacy. This would be your career. This would be your highest points in life and things that people will remember you for. But guess what's at the bottom? The bottom is Cancer. Cancer rules the 4th house. The 4th house is your home, your family, your emotions, your emotional habits, the relationship with your mother and the women in your family. Cancer, the 4th house, is the foundation of your chart. And just like on the Tower card, if you have a rocky foundation, a rocky emotional foundation, because like I said, Cancer, the home, the 4th house is the foundation of your chart, then it's going to be super hard for you to build anything on top of a rocky foundation, you know? And then you wonder why you keep getting towers, and you wonder why you can't create nothing, and you wonder why you make a little bit of progress but then everything fall, and then you wonder why you take, you know, 2 steps forward and 6 steps back. It's because you're building on a rocky foundation, and you need to go to the source, go to the 4th house, which is the foundation of your chart, and figure out what emotional habits have you picked up from your home, from your family, from your life that don't serve you, and create new ones that actually benefit you. You know, and I know it's something so simple, but when I tell you it's transformational, it really will change your lives, because a lot of people walking around thinking that they don't matter, thinking that they don't have any talent, thinking that nobody loves them. They're thinking all of these horrible things because of the things that they've experienced in their lives, the things that they've experienced in their childhoods, the things that their grandmas have told them, their moms have told them, their dads have told them, teachers have told them. You know, people are really walking around not knowing, you know, how amazing they really are, and it's because they had a rocky foundation, you know. And then they wonder why they have all of these relationship issues, wonder why they have all of these financial issues, wonder why they have all of these blockages and can't, you know, curate the things that they want to create in their lives. You know, it all starts and ends in it doesn't end in the 4th house, but it all starts in the 4th house, which is the foundation of your chart, you know. So if you need assistance understanding that, if you need assistance looking into that, feel free to book an astrology session with me, and we can dive into your natal chart and really figure out, like, what are your emotional habits, how these things may be hanging you up, you know, things that you may need to be aware of, that you need to heal in order to evolve into the version of yourself that you want to be, because that's what it's all about. It's the age of Aquarius. It's the age of evolution and awakening. So it's time to start doing better, you know, looking for that knowledge. And if you know better, you do better. Look, I was shuffling my cards, and this is the one that popped out. The 9 of Cups. Yes, look, this me, because I'm finna be sitting pretty. You know, I already am, you know, sitting pretty. All my cups, everything I accomplished, you know, on display. Super happy. You know, this is the energy that we're moving into, sitting pretty. So you got to do your work, though. You got to do your work. Hold on, y'all. Let me drink some tea. Bringing so much confirmation. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. So, my phone got a little bit more juice in it. So since I grabbed my cards, you know, I can pull a few cards for you guys. So if you want me to pull a few cards for you, comment your name and your zodiac, and I'll pull a few cards for you. I'm gonna show y'all which decks I got, you know, some of my favorites. I've been connecting with some new decks too, but some of my favorites. First of all, this deck was given to me by V. Thank you so much, V. When I say I absolutely love this deck, like I absolutely love this deck. It just called out to me, and it's so crazy. When you sent the information about this deck, I literally had just saw it maybe like a week before, and I fell in love with it because I saw the scales. The scales were so hypnotic to me, you know. And then even the aesthetic with the colors and stuff, it matched Kenya's crystal so well for me that I was like, yes, it just called out to me. So then I really did manifest these cards, and I thank you so much. And for those of you who don't know what this is the Amenti Oracle deck. This deck deals with the energy of Mayat, which is not a goddess really, but if you think about Egyptian culture, you call them gods and goddesses, but really it's an energy of order and balance. Libra, you know, the scales, that's this energy. So I'm going to use one. I'm going to use this deck, which is an oracle deck. I'm going to use my Witch Tarot, which is my favorite deck, just because all of the characters in the deck are female, you know. I love my women, you know, because in the traditional Rider-Waite, it's a mostly male deck. So the fact that they're all women, I love that. And then we're going to use our Moonology deck, you know, because I know a lot of times people be asking me what decks I use, using the Moonology deck, you know, since we still in Cancer season and Cancers are ruled by the moon. And if you guys don't understand what I'm talking about, you know, in regards to like the astrology, and you want to learn, make sure you sign up for my Patreon. The link is in the bio. I'm starting a new series where I am starting all the way at the beginning, and I'm giving a full comprehensive understanding of astrology, so that way you can not only look at your chart and understand what's going on, you can look at other people's chart and understand their energy, and then you can also understand what's going on in the world and let all of that energy benefit you. And finally, I am going to use the astrology deck. You know, this is an astrology deck, so you know I love me some astrology. Okay, so let me get started. So yes, name and zodiac. I'm gonna pull a few cards for y'all. Make sure y'all like the video and share the video as well. V, Libra, Tierra, Scorpio. Okay, I got y'all. Yes, so you, Spirit told me those were yours. Yes, girl, Spirit knew, girl. She knew. She was like, yeah, let me just go on and slide over here. I got some stuff I got to tell her, because she shows telling me about myself. You know, the 42 laws of Maya is all about really just keeping your ego in check, keeping yourself in balance, keeping yourself in harmony, you know. And I know my chart very well. And let me tell you, I got a South Node in Leo. I got hella Leo energy. So my lion be roaring, you know. She be like, man, forget all this. I don't got to listen to nobody. I can do what I want to do, you know. I'm gonna do what I want. Can't nobody tell me what nothing. Okay, so V, your first card is the Justice card. Yes, girl. Yes. Okay, I like that. So whatever matters that you might have going on, I just feel legal matters for some reason. Like whenever I see the Justice card, I don't know, like especially with all this stuff's going on, I feel like a chick, like super Libra energy. First of all, it just tells me that you are in your energy, you are in balance, you are in harmony, which I'm so glad to hear, because I know you've been going through a lot too, you know, so I'm super glad to hear about that. Also, if there has been any type of, you know, situation where there has been an injustice, and I already know, you know, I feel it, it's been an injustice, just know that that injustice is going to be taken care of. Karma coming, baby. Oh, you know, Libra come before Scorpio. Scorpio's the Reaper. Scorpio's Pluto. So also I see the Judge, you know, slamming the gavel. It's above you now, so don't even worry about it. You're gonna get justice for whatever it is that's happening, or that has happened. And everything is in balance. Just make sure you taking care of you and you keep yourself in balance and you doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing, and everything else is going to fall into place. Let me see. Do we got anything else for V? Okay, not in this one. Okay, let's try. Let's look at the Amenti Oracle. Uh-oh. Okay, that one flipped out quick. So we have... Hold on. We had 2 flipped out at one time. These cards be jumping, y'all. Can I get 1 card, please? Just 1. Okay. So we have I care for the earth. I care for the earth. So this is a card of cycles too. This is a card of birthday. So what you bringing into this world, girl? What you over there cooking up? What you over there? What you got going on? As you can see, it's 2 women and they're both, you know, pregnant, you know, which signifies bringing new life, you know. They're both holding an egg, you know. The egg represents fertility. It represents bringing new life. And then it's a snake, you know, eating its tail, which represents cycles, starting a new cycle. Girl, let me know if I got to send a baby shower gift or something, you know. Let's see what these moon cards got to say. Girl, I like it though, you know. So whatever it is you cooking up, you guys, it's gonna work out for you, especially with the Justice card too. The Justice card. Ooh, and then for the moon card, you got the waxing moon. Energy is gaining momentum. Okay. Look, so just, that's confirmation. If that's not confirmation, I don't know what is. Just keep going, you know. Because whatever it is that you're doing, it's just, it's in order, it's balanced, it's fruitful, it's fertile, girl. You planting them seeds. So you planting. Okay, what you cooking up? I'm going to pull 1 more card for you. I'm going to pull 1 more card and see what jumps out. And then we're going to move on. But I'm excited for you, so congratulations in advance. Okay, and the card that jumped out was Jupiter. Ooh, okay, Jupiter. Jupiter, your confidence, courage, self-belief, and luck. So, you know, Jupiter is the planet of abundance. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Okay, I ain't mad at you, girl. Well, congratulations to all of this abundance and fertility and expansion and everything else you got going on, coming up in your life. Because it sounds like you about to hit a major shift up. Me too. I'm excited. Big confirmation. Yay! Can I get a reading, please? Sure. Go ahead and comment your name, whatever your circle calls you, and comment your zodiac sign. I'm gonna do a few and then I'm gonna get off of here, y'all, because my phone about to die. And I would hate for my phone just to die on y'all. Okay. I'm gonna do Tiara. Okay. Whew. So yes, y'all, I'm excited about everything that I have coming up too. I am about to do a soft launch of Kenya's crystals again. I really just had to regroup and figure out, you know, rebrand and figure out, you know, what I wanted the vision of my brand to be, because this is something that I built when I was in the thick of my awakening, and it has to grow, it has to change, it has to evolve. So I've been curating my brand to include things that I love, things that I'm excited about, and I'm excited to share these things with you. So, and also, like, another thing that I was thinking about is really the online shopping experience, you know? Like, the online shopping experience is it's harder shopping online because you know you don't have that one-on-one experience when like when you go into a store where you can talk to a customer service and you can try the stuff out, see how it looks, you know. So that's another element that I'm excited to bring into my website. It's going to be an interactive experience, you know, so that way you have that customer service and you really, you know, understand and love and have a deeper meaning for all of the products. So I'm super excited to debut that, and I'm going to give you guys more information later. Okay, so Tiara, the first card is the Four of Swords. You got the Four of Swords. So what you worried about? You worried about something, you all in your head. You're a Scorpio. So Scorpios have been hitting some major realizations lately. Like Scorpios, I get why you've been in your head, you know. And the moon is in Scorpio right now too. So I definitely get why you're in your head. But the thing is, you don't want to drain your own energy worrying about things that you can't change, you know. So it's time to rest. It's time to relax. It's time to regroup. It's time to really get out of your masculine energy and really relax back into your feminine energy, because then your next card is the Seven of Wands reverse. So you don't have to defend yourself no more. You do not have to defend yourself no more. You don't have to prove a point. You don't have to do none of that. You don't have to do none of that. All you got to do is relax. All you got to do is rest. All you got to do is take care of yourself. And you got the Lovers reversed as well. So the Lovers, this full moon may bring an ending for you. It may bring an ending in a out of balance relationship for you. And this is a completely new beginning. So even though it may be hard, embrace it. You know, embrace this new beginning and take care of yourself. Take care of yourself so that way when you really get over this stage, you can give your best again, you know. But you don't have to defend yourself anymore. You're out of that stage. We're over that shit. Over it. Let me pull an oracle card for you. Hi, loves. Is there a way I could get a reading if you have time? Sure, Samantha. If you want a reading, go ahead and comment the name that everybody calls you, and then you can comment your zodiac sign as well, because I just like to know what energy I'm dealing with, you know, even though everybody's so much more than their sun sign. Did you know you have a sign for every planet in the sky? You got a sign for asteroids. Like, your natal chart will tell you so much, but you know, I just like to know base energy or whatever, you know, I'm working with. So comment your name and your zodiac and I'll read you guys. I'll pull a few cards for you. Okay, so the first card for Tiara is I benefit with gratitude. I benefit with gratitude. So that just tells me that you benefit by not being bitter. You benefit by being grateful for all of the things, you know, that are going right in your life. You benefit by not focusing on the bad and focusing on the good. Like, even though the bad stuff, it really, really sucks. And I know that's that, like I said, that's that wave of emotions that we've been dealing with. You know, we're trying to paddle to the new current, and it's like we on the last mile. You know, when you remember when we was in high school, we had to run them laps. You know, you had to run that last lap, and that last lap hurt so bad, your side hurt, you know. You don't know if you're gonna make it. That's what this energy is. It's that last lap. So don't give up. Don't have an attitude. Don't be bitter. You don't got to defend yourself. Don't try to prove nothing. You don't have to prove nothing. All you got, because you benefit with gratitude. You benefit. As you can see, she graceful. She already knows she got it. She knows she got it. She don't got to prove nothing to nobody. And then your last oracle card was I remain in balance with my emotions in reverse. I remain in balance with my emotions in reverse. So girl, let's make sure you keep your emotions balanced. The lesson of Cancer season is to not push your emotions to the side, to not act like you don't feel what you feel, to not pay attention to your feelings. your feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid. Your emotions are valid, and you have to take your emotions and how you feel about things into account. So this is not a situation where you need to put your feelings aside, because if you put your feelings aside, then your feelings are going to be out of balance. So the goal is to remain in balance with your emotions. Okay, let's see. Let's pull one more. Thank you. Everything was on point. You're welcome. And if you guys want to donate, you can donate at the Cash App, Kenya's Crystals. I don't think I got the link above, but yeah, the Cash App is Kenya's Crystals if you guys want to donate. I'm so glad the messages resonate. You know, I used to get on here every Sunday, and, you know, just pull cards for everybody, because I know we just been going through difficult times. And like I said, we're in an age where people are just starting to wake up, and sometimes you just need that confirmation. Sometimes you just need that energy. You know, sometimes you just need that smiling face to help you feel better and help you get through it. I know I have a few people that have really been helping me get through these difficult times. So, and I'm grateful and I'm fortunate to have those people. So I am I'm showing my gratitude by shining that light for someone else. And your last card was the 11th house. So the 11th house deals where the cosmos grants wishes, looks, friends, and social circles. So all of that energy could be surrounding a social circle. Make sure you paying attention to your social circles during this time as well, because you don't want anybody in your circle who is going to put you back in that masculine feeling like you got to defend yourself energy. You know, you don't want nobody around you who's going to put you back in that energy or take you back to that point. So make sure you only let people in your circle or around you who are actually feeding positive energy into you. Everybody else, this full moon in Aquarius is going to cut all that. It's like, well, these are the final additions. Thank you so much for coming. You've done an amazing job. Remember, you are important too, but there's only one star, and that star is me. So everybody else, thank you. Go home. Have a good night, you know. This is the energy of this full moon in Aquarius. Like, we cutting off all the crap and we doing something completely different. Okay, let's see. Also love the lashes. Thank you, girl. Thank you. You know, that's another exciting thing I'm gonna be bringing to Kenya's Crystals. You know, we're gonna dip into the cosmetics a little bit, because, you know, beauty is alchemy. You know, beauty is magic, and that's definitely something that I have loved for so long and I haven't really gotten into. But, you know, now I'm gonna start getting into it. I'm gonna start sharing it, because I always have people ask me about my nails, about my hair, about my lashes, about my makeup, my lip gloss, my, you know, my jewelry, my everything else, you know, and I love it. You know, I'm gonna spill tea with y'all. You know, I'm gonna make sure I give y'all, I'm not gonna sell nothing to y'all that I wouldn't wear myself, you know. Everybody calls me Sam, and I'm a Taurus. Okay. Hey, Sam. Hold on. Let me pull some cards for you, Sam. Okay, I'm going to do Sam, and then I'm going to get off of here. I'm so glad my phone hasn't died yet. Thank y'all so much for coming and sharing space with me tonight. Like I said, I'm super excited for this new chapter in my life. I'm doing so many things. Like, I'm a doula now, y'all. I be helping people have babies and stuff. It's so beautiful. Like, I'm doing all types of stuff, you know. I'm doing body contouring now, you know, helping them get that snap back after the baby, you know, because, you know, us moms, we gotta get the baby out and get back to it, you know. I just love the fact that everything that I'm doing is centered around making women feel better and helping women through, you know, those really difficult transitioning times in their lives, you know. All about the alchemy. We gonna change the body, the mind, the soul, the spirit. We gonna transform everything, you know, and create the life that we want to create. That's my goal anyways. Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay. Let's see if we get one more. Just gonna get one more. And then you are what are we? Oh, a Taurus. So I know this energy probably been difficult for you as well. One thing I know about Taurus is a lot of Tauruses is they don't like to deal with their emotions. It's like a bull on a boat. Like you don't have the feet, your feet on solid ground. Like Tauruses are not happy cancers generally in all this water energy. So I feel for you. And I can definitely see how this energy is playing out. And that's exactly what it is that's coming up in your reading, because it's like you're not dealing with your something. Like it's something that's going on. It's something that really hurt you, like hurt you bad, hurt you deep to the core. And you know, you're just trying to act like everything is okay, you know, because that's the thing about this card. As you can see, she's just on her phone. She feeling all of this pain, but she probably posting on social media, you know, all of this positive stuff, inspirational stuff, just to, you know, try to bring her spirit up, you know. But at the end of the day, it's deep. Is deep. That pain, that hurt is deep, you know. It's a betrayal, and because of that, you know, the way that you're looking at things isn't necessarily in the right context. You know, you're not necessarily able to plan exactly how you want to plan, because the obstacles may seem like you can't surmount them because that pain is so deep. So you're gonna have to deal with those emotional issues and let all of that pain come up, number one, so you can actually figure out what it is. And then after that, you know, it feels like some towers to me for sure. Or maybe you recently had some tower moments, you know, and it really hurts. But at the end of the day, you know, regardless of, you know, the pain, just know that after that, you have the ability to create something now. And when you do make these new creations, just make sure that they are in alignment with your feelings. Put your feelings, take your feelings into the account. Make sure you're creating intentionally, you know, if that makes any sense. Hold on, let's pull some oracle cards. Let's see what Maya has to say. Okay. He says you like that card. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you so much. This is so on point and helps. Okay. I affirm that all life is sacred. I affirm that all life is sacred. So what I'm hearing with that is affirm that your life is sacred. Affirming that all life is sacred is affirming that your life is sacred as well. You know, you're more than your mistakes. You're more than your past. You're more than your pain. You're more than, you know, all of the stuff that you've been through. And, you know, you're more than all of that. You are sacred as well. And so this is just telling me to start taking care of yourself. You're going to have to really dive deep into your self-care regimens, you know, because once you start to feel better, then you'll be in alignment, you know, to actually move forward with the plans. You know, we'll turn this car upright and we'll start moving forward with the plans, you know, and we'll start, you know, seeing things start to move forward and seeing things come in. You know, we're going to turn the energy upright. But the only way that you're going to do it is if you deal with those things that really did hurt you deeply. We can't put it off no more. Like, it's all gonna be about, like I said, curating a new emotional life, because as electromagnetic beings, which we are as humans, we have a field of electricity and a magnetism field as well. Our thoughts are the electric part, and our feelings are the magnetic part. So as electromagnetic beings, we create life, and we attract things to us, you know, based on what we think and based on what we feel, you know. So it's important to think better and feel better. I am open to love in various forms. So yeah, just be open to receiving love. Just be open to receiving love. You're worth it. You're worth it. You deserve it. Love yourself the way that you would love your children, or you love your best friend, or you love, you know, you love whoever it is that you love in your life. Love yourself with that same grace and with that same gratitude, and it'll start putting you towards the right path of feeling better, you know. All right, y'all. Well, my phone is about to die. It just gave me another notification. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this Gratitude Sunday. I think I'm going to start coming back more often. Like I said, my website is in the link above. I'm super excited to reveal all of the new things I have available. So make sure you click on the link, sign up for the email list so that you can get notifications as to everything that's coming up. You're great. Thank you so much for this. This really helped my night. I hope that you have a great one. Love. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad that it helped. I'm so glad that it helped. So like I was saying, I'm grateful that I can, give back, and that I'm grateful that I can help just give everybody a different perspective, because that's what we need. Sometimes we just need a different perspective. We really need to just a bird's eye view to see, how everything's going, and just to put us back on the right track. Like, I look at readings, my readings serve as a lighthouse. Right now, like I said, we're in the middle of these oceans of Cancer season. We're in the thick of it, and I think of myself as that lighthouse, shining that light on all of those ships who are out at sea, and we're at that final mile, and they're just trying to make it to the island. Let this serve as the lighthouse, guiding you and giving you that light and giving you that direction and giving you that hope so you can make it this final mile. Like I said, make sure you guys stay protected. If you like this information, if this intrigues you, make sure you guys join me on Patreon, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.